Hi everybody, it's Laura with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters, and today I have a 1922, actually a January 1922 Remington portable. And based on the notes that I found on Typewriter Database, it said that 1922 was the year that they added the shift key on both sides, because right now it's on just one side. So I suspect, being that this is a January model, they must have added that shift key a little bit later in 1922. So we're looking at one of the last models that was manufactured with the shift key only on the left side. All right, so this is a tutorial video. I am gonna go through and show you how to use it. This is a, I guess let me take the paper out. You can take a look and see kind of the typeface on this, and you can see that there's some bleed over between the red and the black are kind of mixing. That's probably something I need to have Rob take a look at and make some adjustments, because it was hitting, it was fine up here, but then it began to hit double colors on there. But that's just probably this one. This has a foldable typing basket. So, and actually my grandmother, this isn't hers, but my grandmother has one just like this. Hers is a little bit later. And right here is where you're going to fold that typing basket in the upright position. This is the down position for storage. So there is a cover, hard-sided cover. Many of the cases for Smith Corona or whatever are made out of this exact type of fabric and board, whatever it is, that this just snaps, folds over and snaps on the top. Okay. If you wanted to remove, right now the typewriter itself is attached, maybe yours is or isn't, to the bottom of what is the case. And if you're going to be moving around a lot, I recommend leaving it attached, which is probably what most people did back then. If you were a newspaper reporter or something like that and you were taking this around, you would keep this attached. However, if you're not going to be moving around a lot, you could certainly remove this from the base. It just takes a flathead screwdriver, probably some WD-40 to loosen up those bolts, because they've probably not been undone in 100 years. So this is 103 years old. Can you believe that? That's just amazing. Okay, so first of all, before we start typing, we need to raise this typing basket. So you pull out on the side and then you just glide it along its little track there. So now it's up, and beautiful black gloss finish. Unfortunately, it shows every bit of dust. And then to load your paper, and I always recommend, especially on these older ones, you know, either fold your sheet in half or use 2 sheets or even 3 sheets. So, because your platen is going to be pretty hard unless you've had it replaced. Oops. So now you can see my paper is a little bit crooked. So the paper release lever is on the right side and it goes backwards. On other typewriters, it goes forward. On this one, it goes backwards. Line it up, re-engage it. Okay, so the ribbons on here are not universal. So let me say that again. These are not universal ribbons. It takes a special spool, and if you don't have spools, you'll probably want to get on some maybe typewriter repair groups on Facebook or something and ask around to find a spool that will fit your exact model. They're a 1-inch spool. So what you could do is, if you have these spools but you have an old ribbon on there, you could order a ribbon, like a universal ribbon. We've got them on our website, and you just take the ribbon off of that spool and wind it on here. And that's actually a really good video idea, and I'll have to take a note, and when Rob is home sometime, have him do a video of how to respool a spool, or rewind ribbon on a spool. I don't even know the proper wording for that, you know, so anyway, okay. So here are your type bars. They're in the up position. It's ready to type on. You can see it's a Remington portable. Like I said, this one's in 1922. You can go to typewriterdatabase.com to look up your year, and your serial number is going to be, I think it's on the right side under the carriage. So just take a look around, and it's usually like a 6, 7, 8 digit number. The 20s will start with the letter N, and then it'll have another letter. Like in this case, it's an NP, and P stands for January. I don't know why, but it does. So the typewriter database will explain all of that, and that's how I know it was made in January. Okay, down here, before I start typing, this is my color selector. So right now it's on red. I'll keep it on red, but then you can flip it down and it'll be on black. All right. You have your type keys here. They're glass with chrome accents. It is totally normal to see the yellowing of the paper inserts under those glass keys. I love it. Some people don't like it and they take the effort to replace those. And I don't recommend doing it unless you really, really know what you're doing. And just leave them and enjoy the uniqueness of your typewriter. The shift key is only on the left side for this 1922, but mid 22 and later, in later years, you will find the shift key on both sides. So when typing on this one, it's very awkward because you go to use the shift over here and it's not there. And so I haven't figured out the best way to shift, you know, on letters that I would normally use my right hand pinky to shift. I have to kind of stop and hold with one hand and hit with the other. So it's very, very weird. Okay, also on the left side, you are going to see like 3 little levers. And really only 2 of them are levers. The third one is stationary. And the stationary one is the one in the middle. And that one's just to kind of give you leverage, because as you can tell, there's no return handle. So in order to return when you're typing, so we'll do a little bit of typing. There's the bell. It's like a little ding. So when you're ready to hit the return handle, you actually just push the carriage, but then you squeeze. You take this first lever with your thumb and the stationary one with your index finger, and you squeeze, and that advances it a line. So that's your return handle. There is no margin release, no tab, just a backspace on this. It's very, very basic. And the lever back here, is your carriage release. And again, you squeeze. So this time you're going to put your thumb on the stationary, the middle one, and index on the back one. And there you go. And you can hear my bell is more of a dink, but that's the way it is. So that is kind of the basics of the Remington Portable. There's a couple things I want to show you. You've got your backspace right here. Backspace does not erase. I already mentioned the color selector. And so the other thing I want to show you is the ribbon reversal. And we're going to lower this first. So I'm going to take that, lower it down, and then I will flip it over here. And this little circle, that is your ribbon reversal. I just pressed it because it's the same on the other side. That's your ribbon reversal. So you just press it whenever you need to reverse the direction of your ribbon. And if your ribbon gets slack in it, to take up the slack, you just turn it. And like my finger caught the ribbon when I was typing earlier. When I went to hit the return handle, somehow my pinky caught the ribbon and pulled it out. So you just turn it, and that tightens up, that takes out any slack. And then when you need to reverse it, you just press or press. It's on either side. So that is how you use a 1922 Remington Portable. I hope you found this helpful. These are really beautiful machines. They're very unique. I will say they are difficult to use. I mean, they're easy to type. They feel very nice, but it is slow going because of the return handle and because of the shift key. Now, the older ones, when you have a double shift key, you can obviously type much quicker, but you're still going to have maybe not, you know, a return handle. So that's just part of using a portable, an ultra portable typewriter. It was made to be on the go, and so you got to take some measures to make it portable. All right, I hope this was helpful. We will catch you guys next time. Have a great day.